All right, so we're back from a 4 month hiatus. Episode 7 here with David Galvan. How's it going, boy?
Hey, pretty good, pretty good. And it's so funny because you would be impressed if I told you this, but I was born on July 7th. And guess what day? The 7th. And I was
7.
also born, yeah, and I was also born at 7 o'clock in the morning as well. So this is impressive to be here on podcast number 7.
Hey,
It's pretty cool.
you're going to be here
Yeah,
on podcast 77 too?
yeah, there you go. Why
Okay.
not? Let's do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, let's book it now.
Yeah,
All right, so you're a car salesman, right? You've been a car salesman
yeah.
for how many years?
Almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years?
September's going to be my 10th year. Yeah,
Was it
crazy.
car salesmen make money off commission mainly, right? Like, is it
Right.
mainly commission? One of my biggest fears working in sales has always been like, if I don't sell, I don't eat. How long did it take you to make your first car sale from the minute you started?
I would have to say, for someone that's never been in the car business, right? My background. Uh, that was definitely the first time being invited to selling cars. There, the moment you start selling a car, and the moment that you actually sell a car, is based on your knowledge on the career, right? So for me, it took me, gosh, almost a month and a half, if anything, to really sell like a car, and feeling very inspired to do that. But when you get hired at a car dealership, you can sell a car right there and then, the same day, and that's something that not a lot of people know about when they start selling cars.
Okay.
Yeah,
When you start working with people, was there a huge difference on what buyers say besides what they actually mean? Like, they walk in there trying to like play you up and trying to, trick you. I'm not sure if it happens
yeah,
as much, but I remember when I was buying a car, you know, there was I started going through YouTube videos like crazy, like things you don't want to say to a car salesman, things you do want to say to a car salesman, and like one of the things that I learned was saying like I want to know if I can get this car for X amount out the door, and in my mind I never even thought about that because I'm like, oh yeah, out the door, what does that mean? It means taxes, tags, and I don't know what else, right?
yeah. Right.
But like in your experience, what would you say is something that buyers say to you, but they actually mean something else?
Well, I'll tell you this: they will come times where about 70 to 80% of the buyers that show up with a dealership that have some information on what they're looking for already have an idea of what they're looking to be at monthly, right? Every buyer comes in and says, "Hey, I want to be this certain amount of payments," but they want all the bells and whistles. Um, Sometimes they don't even know the type of vehicle that they're even looking at. So it's just like, um, explain to me with what are some important things that are in need for you. What's something you need to do with this vehicle, or is it going to be something that you just want? Explain to me what your thought process is. And sometimes they just bring back their personality to what who they really are and what they're really trying to accomplish, and all those questions that came out of um, what they're really trying to say with what they're trying to do are completely different. So that psychology and breaking down with just a simple honesty, and you meet the person and they're so defensive and so don't talk to me. I just want to walk the lot. You just pop your hands up and say, "Hey, look, don't shoot me. I'm just the first guy that you meet here at the dealership." They either go in and smile and say, "Oh no, it's nothing that big," or "It's not that big of a deal." I'm like, "Well, I apologize. You guys came to my dealership. At the end of the day, if there's any information that I can provide you, I want to be able to do that. And the last thing I want to do is waste your time and waste your money to making a purchase that you're not going to make. You're not going to make an informative decision on. So let me do this while you guys are here. Let me make sure that you guys are treated well, just like you would be at your own home and greeting your guests. And let me show you a good time to make sure that you're making the right final decision with your next vehicle. Because again, not a lot of people buy vehicles every day. And so I've been fortunate to see that experience happen quite often here in the dealership. Let me help you go through that as easy as possible. And just explaining yourself briefly and who you are, uh, you literally have about 7 to 10 seconds to show the person across your face, in front of you, um, an opportunity to sell yourself. And that's the key part about selling it. You have a very few seconds of introduction. You need to make it as positive as possible, and then from there, hopefully break down those walls so that you can find the real questions that they're looking for.
I bet.
So very, very, very,
What's
very good game.
what's the most common car for you to sell?
Most common car to sell, I think, would be the Ford F-150. If anybody had any idea, Ford's, I worked at a Ford dealership,
Hmm.
but Ford would be one of the most common vehicles that people tend to buy. And I think second best, probably the Ford Bronco or the Mustang,
The Ford Bronco just took off, right?
right? And the Maverick as well, believe it or not.
Oh yeah,
They're
my
really
friend told me that
inexpensive trucks.
he loves a Maverick. He was telling me about it. He goes,
Hmm.
"Dude, if they didn't just jump up in price all of a sudden because everybody started buying them, they saw the value in it." He's like, "I would tell you to
Yeah,
go buy one yourself." I was like, "Where were you a few months ago?" Um,
I know, I know.
have you ever seen anybody walk into a dealership and like immediately he's gonna buy a car, like you know he's not just there trying to get a quote or trying to find out what's the best he can do.
It's funny because the people that typically say that or look like they're going to buy a car are the people that you want to be as cautious as possible because they are a diamond in the rough. There are customers that typically have a lot of questions. They are qualified buyers, and you can definitely see that. But at the end of the day, it can be a situation where they have no money down, or they have a bunch of questions, and they are going to make your living. They're going to make their time there and living hell with questions upon questions, and then undeciding which one to pick versus what to pick. And to them, the experience of defending yourself, not even just defending yourself, just being knowledgeable enough to show you about the vehicle is 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 time consuming. They will go in there, they will go in there and look at 10 cars. And then they will say, "Thank you, David. I really appreciated your time. You're very knowledgeable. I'm gonna come back 2 days from back in 2 days." And then they will look at a whole different selection of lineup. And you're like, what are we looking at? We were looking at this 2 days ago or a week ago, and now we're looking at this. And so I find it very, very hard to not very hard to express myself when I have someone that's like, "Oh yeah, he looks like a buyer. Oh yeah, that's awesome." But now, what am I getting myself into? Is really the real question, Because again, I work off of commission. So if as much as I love the opportunity of being in front of somebody, my time is important. So if I can make the exchange as commonly as a hassle-free, fast experience as possible, the faster I can go sell not just one car but the next car as well. Right?
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Have you ever
Yeah.
had any horrible test drive stories?
Yes, I have plenty of horrible test drive stories. Are you kidding me?
I don't
You,
know.
it's insane.
Every time I've been in a car that I'm test driving, obviously I want to test drive the shit out of it, but at the same time, the last thing I want to do is break it and buy it.
Yeah. Well, you're not held liable for it, so just a heads up there.
Yeah.
Obviously, if there is an insurance situation where you decided to take a left turn, I think the dealership would still be held accountable because it's your first time operating a motor vehicle. So, and even then, I'm sure you could probably avoid that. But yeah, no, well, interesting. I have a lot of interesting situations where I've gone on test drives and I am scared uh, putting on my emergency e-brake on but just my invisible brake. Just please, please don't let it be my last one here. And I've also had in person situations where it's a very uncomfortable situation with the same sex individuals asking for things that are not appropriate when purchasing a vehicle. Yeah,
Oh. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
he wants to get to the
And
commission first, huh? Wow.
no, he wants to get to the commission first.
Yeah,
But yeah, do you want me to tell you one or two that I know of?
absolutely. If you're willing to share,
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Uh,
pretty sure that you got to use that old shit handle in those cars.
yes, a very few times where the customer was like, "Why are you afraid? Everything's fine." No, we are stuck in the middle of the light, and you messed up on the clutch. And yeah, and now the car is completely off, or the lady at the corner is saying, "Hey, I really want to test out the collision warning sensor with the car in front of me," and you're just like, "No, ma'am, we're not trying out the collision warning sensor. There is no need for it. Want to check out the collision warning sensor?
She wants
What
to
else
try
can
out
I
the
tell you?
airbags.
Yeah, wanted to check out the airbags for sure, 100%. Um, no, I've had a lot of situations like that where there's a lot of very confident clients that go in there and they want to drive a GT Mustang and they want to drive it in the highway and just rev it up as fast as they can. And they're just like, this is probably not the safest thing. They're just like, hey, this is a vehicle just for a test drive. This is not your personal, and you got to express that as easy as possible without trying to lose yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is there any vehicle that a dealership will not let a client test drive?
I think it's based on the dealership, 100%. I think the first appearance will make it or break it. If you come in and you're beat up, no doors, ragged clothes, and you're looking to buy or looking to drive a Mustang, that will be one of those situations where you're just like, hey, I need to see some information before we take on this vehicle for a test drive. 100%, 100%. And that's just about any vehicle. But if there is a qualified buyer that comes in a Toyota Corolla and wants to look at GT Mustangs, it's happened before. When I first started, someone came in with a truck right across our street. There's a bus stop, and it was midsummer, and this guy came in with sandals, beige shorts, and a muscle shirt with a bag of trash, or what it looked like trash, and it had about $25,000 in cash. Came in the dealership, and they told me since I was new, they're like, "Hey, go say hi to this guy." I went out there and, "Hey, how's it going? This and that. Hey, I want to look at buying this Ford Fusion." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Let's take it out. Let me have your driver's license." And again, me not knowing the experience that I have now, I would have been like, sir, let's walk inside, let's talk about it, but you know what? I think the fact that I didn't do that really got me the opportunity to sell this guy a car because he came in with that idea that,
They're gonna
oh,
judge
they're
them.
gonna ask him that no, I was gonna ask him a bunch of questions about what is he looking for? Why is he coming in here like this, dressed
Mhm.
like this? And let me run your credit and things like that before we move on to driving a vehicle. But because I didn't and I went out there and just did my thing, I had the opportunity to sell a car, which was awesome.
Dude, that's great. What would you
Yeah.
say is for a first time car buyer, let's say somebody fresh out of high school or fresh out of college, what would be the ideal credit score to go into a dealership and getting a car that, they'll be happy with? Not the car that, it's not going to be a car that this is what we give everybody, this is what you'll be able to finance with a very low credit score. Let's say a range a score where you can probably get the car that you want.
So the want and the need, right? So this is one of those questions that I ask the clients and say, hey, uh, let me ask you, what is important to you? Like, are you thinking about, comfortability? Do you really want a car that is going to get you to 200,000 miles without a problem? Or are you looking to have a relationship? Would you be open to, first of all, because it's your first car, this is going to be a relationship, which is going to be a short relationship. It's going to be, for example, a girlfriend, your very first girlfriend. Now, this could be your forever girlfriend, or this could be a girlfriend that you're going to know and love and have for a few years. And after that, you can take it and then go get yourself something that's a little bit better. And so I know it sounds bad, but at the same time, it's that reality is that you really don't have that kind of credit that can get you what you want at a comfortable payment, especially if you're just getting out of school, right?
Yeah.
Um, so whenever I talk about this, I really ask, what is this? You know, are you open to this idea with me where your interest rate for your vehicle is going to be a little bit high, uh, and your payments are going to be really low or high depending on what it is. But are you okay with that if you go for something that's a little bit more expensive? Now, if you do something that I would suggest my friends and family would be, it would be somewhere within a $10,000 to $15,000 budget, with a little bit of cash down, because again, cash is thousands of reasons or hundreds of reasons why the banks just say yes to helping you finance a vehicle coming out of college. I think you deserve it. Yeah, you've done so much for yourself. You've gone to school, you dedicated that, you put in a lot of hours. So treating yourself is very important. But again, if I had to give you a number within what I would suggest my friends and family be, first time getting out of college, first car, it would be a 10,000 to a $15,000 car with a couple $100, maybe 1,000, just to help you with your taxes. Because
But
again,
but what credit score would you think they should have? Like a ballpark. Like should it be in the 500s? Maybe 650 and up to 700?
so it's funny because I don't work in finance, so this is what I would tell customers that show up at the dealership is I really appreciate you asking me that question. But if I knew that information, I would be sitting in finance waiting for you to come in so that I can explain to you how that works.
Yeah.
And that's the most respectful way to answer that, because the reality is that you came into the dealership to look at our cars, right?
Hmm.
So we're gonna help you. We work for you. We don't work for the dealership, right? So as the dealership, we want your business because that's how we're gonna get paid. So I mean, here's the thing. Not too long ago, we were able to get someone approved for in the 400 to 40 credit score. So that's kind of the cool thing about the dealership world is you come in and you tell us, here's the thing, bad things happen to good people. And that's unfortunate. So as a dealership, we understand that and we want to work for you. The dealership's a family owned and operated. They actually have their own financing in house. If you meet some serious criteria that they might have as far as requirements for job time and residency, you can finance a vehicle with a 400 credit score. An initial tier one or great credit score is a 620.
Hmm.
So if you have a 620 credit score, you're considered an A plus member all across the board for all the manufacturers. So that's kind of the blessing in disguise. So anything underneath that is just going to be something that we're going to have to figure out and review and really try to figure out what we can do to best earn your business and make sure you drive off with something that you want at a comfortable payment.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
favoritism of car dealerships are just it's crazy, from what it's been for the last 40, 50 years to what it is now. Everything's online. Everybody can see online how
Yeah.
prices are.
Yeah. But I mean, I was gonna ask a question, but now with that, I think you just kind of answered. I was gonna ask, would you recommend in-house financing or outside financing? But like you said, you don't do the financials, so you probably wouldn't know, right? Um,
Well, being here that I am and being here and with you guys, hopefully someone will listen to this and watch this and will see this and say, hey, this guy's giving me an example or a good idea. And this is what I recommend you and your viewers. Um, believe it or not, I think a credit union is the number one option for you. If you have a credit union that you work through that has done auto loans for you in the past, I would go with them more than anything else. Obviously, always looking for that 0% option. So if the manufacturer offers 0%, go for 0%. Obviously, our in-house financing is available there to you as well. But I would always suggest again, we work for the client, we work for you. So our goal is to get you the best rate as possible. So typically what I see in good credit or high tier levels is the credit union, and then from there, the manufacturer, and then from there, in-house financing. Not that
okay.
in-house financing is bad or anything like that, but no, I definitely credit union. I would definitely go for credit
Yeah, a lot of people
if I had to be able
underestimate
to.
them, and they go to like
Yeah,
their main, like Chase Bank of America, Wells Fargo.
And they're not bad either.
They're
They're
not
not bad
bad.
either.
They're not bad. But I
No,
mean, credit union is usually the best place to get, a better credit rate. But I
right.
mean, and you're supposed to, I think you're supposed to shop it around. I'm not 100%. I don't think you know about this, but I don't even know about it. The minute that they pull your credit, I think they told me this. I don't know if it's true that you have 30 days to keep pulling your credit so it doesn't affect your credit score. I don't know if that's true.
It's not. It's not true. Every single time you get your credit pulled, it dings you on your credit. So that's definitely one of those things. And
Wait,
before we move on, I want to just list it again. So it's credit unions, 0% for the manufacturer banks, and then the dealership banks. But anyway, yeah, no, I definitely don't recommend going to every dealership and just having them run your credit. One, you risk the fact that the dealership that you're going to is kind of a not, reputable dealership. So they're going to think that, oh, we have a car deal. We're going to start sending it off to 4 or 5 different banks. And then that's a ding in itself. And so that will hurt your credit as well. So going to a dealership, running your credit, and then having them run your credit individually can definitely hurt you, within that 3 days. So I wouldn't recommend you doing that if you're thinking, oh, I want to go check Nissan, I want to go check out this and this and this. Oh, I want to go check out Ford, and then being told, hey, your credit is now 500 because you've lost 60 points in less than 10 days. And
yeah.
that's rough. That's rough to explain.
What would you say is something? Let's say if you're going to a dealership and you meet this car salesman, what would be something that you can see from a car salesman and you'd be like, get away from him?
I think if the person is very pushy, I think it's an automatic like it's an automatic negative for me. There's two types of people that are expressing their interest to help, and there's the person that just doesn't care about what you're saying to them and expressing some patience, or expressing that I just want to go look at a car. Uh, because again, you can have the people that or like myself that will hear that word and say, okay, I totally understand. Again, I mean, my hands up. I don't know what happened at the other dealership. The last thing I want to do is waste your time. I'm here to save you time and save you money. Let me at least walk with you. And if you have any questions, I can point out things that you might not know. And there are other people that are very rude from the very start because I've done this research myself where I will go to a dealership as a client and see the opposite side of the spectrum and get people that are extremely rude. Hey, I'm just looking. Oh, okay, then you can get out. And you're just like, that's that's okay, I guess I'm winning in my dealership, or hey, okay, let's go take a look. And they pass the first test of, hey, you know what? I don't know what happened, but they passed the first test, and now they're walking with you, and now they're trying to show you something that's completely different to what you came in to look at, and that's the negative. If I was in his position, I would walk with you and ask you questions that would lead me to what I call the sell.
Mhm.
Lead me questions that are important to you. Focus on and focus on 20% of the product that you might want to know about. So if you tell me that you like a car, we're going to go take a look at cars. If you tell me that you like a truck, we're going to go take a look at trucks. And then focus on what are your wants and your needs while we're having just a simple conversation, so that I can best express myself in that knowledge level. But then you'll have people that are very rude from the very beginning, and they're like, "No, you're not coming to my dealership with that. You better walk with me, or you can leave." Um, I when I first started this whole gig, I was so impressed by the variations of cars because again, I'm sure in your position with what you do now, um, being open to what a world is from what we knew growing up out of high school and even college, and now jumping into a field of a career that you're just like, wow, this is insane that this is happening. It kind of happened to me with the car dealership world where I will drive to work every day or anywhere here in the streets. I will walk anywhere and I can tell what kind of car I'm looking at And I decided to, when I heard about the Ford Shelby F-150, I had to go take a look at it. I've never seen one, and if I have seen one, I wasn't aware of what they look like. So I really wanted to go take a look at one. So I went to this place that had a Shelby F-150, and the moment I pulled up, I was driving an F-150 actually, and I drove up to look at it, and I parked right in the spaces between the cars, and like how they have rows and rows and rows of cars. Well, I kind of parked right behind the one of the rows, and I got off and walked to look at the Shelby F-150, and this guy approaches me and says, "Hey, what's going on? You like Shelby?" I'm like, "Yeah, this is really cool." Just going over knowledge with this guy, and this guy saw that I had my shirt from work, and he goes, "Oh, you are a car salesperson." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just started working there. I just learned about this, so I really wanted to put my hands on one, just touch it, and just look at it. And it's just such a cool truck, and it's so expensive. Oh my gosh, this is insane." Um, and I got kicked out. The guy called me the F word, the M this, the F that. So
Damn.
it's insane because yeah, I mean the level of communication between the guest and the person, the salesperson. Like I told you earlier, you have a 10-second window
Mhm.
um, to really get that person to be interested in you to actually earn their
Business.
business. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
That's crazy. That's crazy
Yeah,
that I mean, I've been to a few dealerships when we were looking for a car, and everybody was always super nice. I never had any complaints. Some you could at one point I got one of the guys had just started working and he was super enthusiastic. He was cool. He wouldn't stop calling me afterwards, so that was annoying. But I get it. He's trying to make a sell.
yeah,
The other guy was like super enthusiastic of like he was like one of those high school guys, the popular jock guys, where do you want to get bitches? This car will get you bitches, and I'm just like,
oh my god,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'm pretty sure you work with some of them. So
yeah,
so
yeah,
you know who
yeah.
they are. But yeah, it was interesting. It was fun. We ended up getting I ended up getting the car I wanted, so I was happy with it. But yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. I mean, do I know there's people that do that for a living, right? They go buy cars for people because people
Right,
hate dealing with dealerships. It's
car
like,
broker. Hmm.
yeah, car brokers. I didn't even know that was a thing. I watched a podcast where this guy goes, "This is my car broker," and he just, I tell him what I want, and he goes and gets me the best rate possible. And he's like, and then I give him like I don't know how much percentage of it because I just don't want to deal with it. So I'm like, that's cool. I didn't know that was a thing, and the guy looked super old. He didn't say his age, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't that old. It was just the stress of,
Yeah,
dealing with maybe unfavorable salespeople, and it's just
right.
driving him nuts. But yeah, we also used to work at a restaurant together.
Oh yeah, we did,
Yeah,
we did.
yeah, the spaghetti, right?
Hmm.
So I mean, I didn't know.
How did you started working there? Was it because of me? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember. Yeah,
yeah,
really.
yeah. I asked you. I think it was. Yeah, it was straight out of high school. I was going to college, and I needed a job, and I messaged you. I'm like, hey, I remember you started working because we weren't when we were in high school. You told us that you started working there. I'm like, you still work there? Can you get me a job there? And you're like, yeah, 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 yeah. And I applied. I submitted. I got an interview, and I remember the interview process was so annoying.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Tell me, please tell me.
So they scheduled me like at 2,
Hmm.
and they didn't. I didn't meet the GM until like 4. I was so bored, and I was just like, I need a job. I need a job, and I wanted to be a server because I wanted to learn how to talk to people. Because at that point, everything was like, working. I used to work at the Greyhound Park before that. Didn't really do much, and I was like, I need to learn how to talk to people because I think it's
Right.
one of the most important things you can do if you're learning how to get into the job force. And immediately she saw me and she goes, "Yeah, we're not hiring. We're not hiring servers right now. We're hiring dishwashers. And me, okay, I'll do it. I needed a job.
Yeah.
I didn't really care. But like, orientation came by and I saw that they hired like 6 fucking servers. And I was just like, she fucking lied to me. She saw me proud and she said, kitchen,
Kitchen, exactly. No,
kitchen.
that's insane. That's really insane. I started as a, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, as a, I started in the front of the house, so I was the guy that was, greeting everybody in. I think it's called the hostess, right? The
Yeah.
host. Yeah. So I was there. That was my first job. So I started there in, gosh, 2005. So it was my sophomore year in high school, and I slowly got put in the back. Man, that's one of those things that, again, I hate talking about politics and what happened in that era. But something happened where, people came into the store and they took, exactly. So, they took our friends, and they're like, hey, we need people that, know how to cook. So they put me back there. I went from hosting to busing because, again, I had a high school job, so I was only part time. So I went from hosting to busing to um, working in doing the dishes, to meeting the general district, or the district person for the restaurant. He came down and he was helping the restaurant during that time. So that was one of those things where they're like, "Hey, do you know how to serve? Do you know how to make food?" And I was like, "I know how to make cereal." And so they're like, "We're gonna teach you how to cook."
You're like,
And
it
I'm
only
like, "Okay,
burns every once in a while. So, I kind
exactly,
of got a good grip on it.
exactly,
Dude, every
exactly."
time, because, I did the dishwashing for like a month and a half and then they immediately promoted me to like the line. And it was,
That wouldn't happen because of me. That wouldn't have happened because of me. I was talking to them. I was like, "Hey, he needs to come over here. He needs to come over here. He needs to come over here." So I did fight for you to get out of the dishes
yeah,
as fast as possible.
it sucked. And I remember when I started working there, they told me, like, this is the dish pit. We call it gel away from gel. And you quickly find out why, because it's miserable. You're covered
Yeah.
in water, you're
Oh yeah.
sweating, you don't know what's water, what's sweat, you're covered in food gunk, and then it's always going to be a mess. You don't really have a minute to
Oh yeah.
breathe. So yeah. And then I think I
Yeah.
went to pantry after that, and then I went to the line, and the line was fun. The line was fun because you lose your shit a lot, but it's cool. And then
Yeah.
our number one enemy was like the servers, and
Yeah.
entitled people that just I need you to remake this, or I need a new ticket, so
Right. No,
it
100%. It's making food, extra food, maybe for them or for the client, but it was always one of those things where I need it now. And so I think that restaurant, that line really made us like a really tight fit back there. I do feel that I was a very angry person, so I want to apologize that to any of the friends that will ever see this, because I do feel that, out of the two guys that we had there, I was probably the one that had the temper out of both of us.
the line brings out the worst out of you, and there's people that
Yeah,
handled it so well, and you're just
yeah,
like, I don't know how the hell you guys do it. And I mean,
yeah,
I think it was like half the line smoked, were consistent chain smokers, and
yeah. Oh yeah,
I've never smoked, so I'm just like, oh, I understand. I understand why they go out there and smoke, because as soon as they come back, they're just like super chill, and I'm just like, what the fuck were
yeah.
you smoking out there? Anyways, it was a very fun area because I actually learned a lot. I learned how to cook decently from there. Um, it gave me a new appreciation of restaurants. And then I'm
Sure.
just like, and then sometimes I'm just like, I don't ever want to fucking come eat here, which I actually have. I've gone like 3 or 4 times, and then
Yeah,
it's nice to see a few people still there, and then it's kind of sad to see a few people still there.
yeah. Exactly. I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
So, what was it like when you went to pantry? Was it one of the easiest jobs ever, you think? And
Oh,
all the fields that you did at the restaurant?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Pantry was fun because it was just putting salad, making sure the salad thing was up there, scooping ice cream. I actually got really good at it, um, and then just filling things up, and then I you fell from success. I was so good at it that they would send me back to the dish. And they're like, "Hey, wait, you're all cut up here. Let them serve their salad.
Oh yeah.
Go help in the dishes." And you're just like, "Ah, I gotta work slower now."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
quickly like,
I agree.
"Oh, I gotta work slower." But yeah, that place was crazy. Remember, it was rumored to be haunted,
Yeah.
and
Did you ever visit any of the places that were haunted?
from there, like the
Yeah.
upstairs. Yeah,
Yeah, the upstairs and the downstairs
yeah, yeah,
and the sewage that's still open.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
And then I had to hear from the staff where they talk about, did you hear that noise? Did I've been here at 2 a.m. and you could hear things moving, blah, blah, blah. I've been here at 6 a.m. and you can hear things moving. I'm like, so have I. I've never heard shit. There's, I've never heard anything. But I saw that they remodeled it a few years ago and I haven't been back since, but it looks nicer now.
Yeah,
It doesn't look like
yeah,
a fire hazard as much.
100%. I honestly haven't. I mean, when I left, I think that's when they were redoing the whole building. Um, so I don't know if they've done any more remodeling since then, but um, yeah, it's really nice. It's definitely it's the outside is definitely a different change of color. They put on extra room in the spaghetti tree area.
Hmm.
Um, the restrooms are completely different, a little bit more redesigned. Um, what else? Everything I think everything in the library from the what is that one corner room called?
Sunroom?
Uh, the sunroom, right? The sunroom. You still it's crazy how we still remember these things. Everything's
Trauma.
still the same. Yeah, exactly. Everything's still practically the same, other than I think the spaghetti tree. They probably changed that or removed that ever since. They now made it a little bit wider in the front of the house. People can really sit there while they're waiting for their keys to be open.
Yeah, I could see that because I've driven by and I see that it looks a little bit more comfortable to sit down and wait. I'm
Hmm.
just waiting, like, when we're old and, halfway dead, the trolley's going to change into the fucking light rail in there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Do they still have the trolley or did they change it or
They
upgrade it?
no, they still have the trolley there. It's
Yeah.
still there. Yeah,
I sat
still
there one
there.
of the times I came back.
My only issue is that it's expensive there. I don't know if you've been there recently, but it's one of those things where, oh man, I'm just like, can I get an employee discount? I mean, I've been here since I was here for almost 10 years. Do I get any royalties out of this? Come on now.
You guys probably
Uh,
owe me at some point, right?
oh, 100%.
You know how many
Exactly.
fucking wrinkles and fucking white hairs I got from working in this fucking place?
Nightmare.
You know,
Nightmare.
at some point you're just like, I got some fucking dirt on you guys. Give me some fucking. I know who the fuck you
Yeah,
guys employed, but
exactly.
there was this one guy. There was this one guy. I don't know if you know him, if you were there. Um, but he was always a dishwasher. He was like in his late 40s, early 50s. Really annoying. Um,
Was extremely buff.
no, I know who you're talking about, but no, no, no. He was annoying a little bit, but not you.
No, no, no. I mean, I totally get it.
I can't even remember his
Uh,
name, but he would always try to like mutiny and like like have it his way or like he tried to get everybody in the dish pit to stop working, and at one point they would listen to them and then they'd kind of like realize that he wasn't all there and they'd just be like, let's ignore this guy. But god, I
wow.
can't remember his
No,
name.
I don't think I was there. I don't think I was there.
No, maybe you weren't, but yeah, he was a headache every single day. And I remember that when he left, I guess he tried to get work at the Denver location, and they
Yeah.
called and immediately like whoever was the manager in charge at the time was like, "Oh no, run, delete, throw away that
Oh,
application because this guy's
crazy.
horrible." But yeah, apparently he like moved to Denver and he tried to get a job at the same company, but over there.
Wow.
Yeah, but this guy was horrible. But yeah, we have like I mean, we could probably talk for hours about the stupid stories that happened in there, and it was weird. Like that's one of the things that always amazed me about that company. They knew when it was going to be busy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. They
100%.
they knew they had a calendar, and they're like, 2 weeks on Tuesday, we're gonna be super packed because of blah blah blah. And I'm just like, how the hell do you guys know this? And like, oh, it's because we keep the information of how we did last week. I mean, last year, what events were going on last year that caused
Right.
it, and they just like have an estimate, a rough estimate of how many people, how many tables are gonna fill up, and how many people are gonna go into the restaurant. And they were pretty accurate to an extent, right?
Right. No, definitely. And it's same thing in the car dealership world. That same graph, they use that to be able to kind of figure out what the amount of clients that we're expecting this year as well, or this month as well. Even though month is going to be a smaller month or a smaller dated month, that we know exactly what we're projecting as well. But no, yeah, the restaurant, it was always one of those things where a basketball season would show up or some baseball event would show up, and you're just like, all right, we need this many people in the kitchen, we need this many people on the line, we need servers, this and that. So be ready for a grand, long, long length of line of tickets to just beep, 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 and you're just like, this is gonna be fun.
I
And then the
remember,
washing.
I remember one of our coworkers. He would call it spagmares.
Yeah, nightmares.
Yeah, and he'd be like,
I still
"Dude,
have them.
you used to have those nightmares?"
Yeah, I still have them. I get
I
them every once in a while.
I don't I don't. That place doesn't live in my head anymore, thank God. But yeah, he would tell me, and I was just like, he goes, "You don't get those? No, no, I don't care. I don't think about this place when I leave, you know." But yeah, there was a lot of confrontations at that place with management or other coworkers. It was fun. It was fun looking back. I met a lot of amazing people. Um,
Right.
you know, we
One of them you had here
yeah,
in your
one of the
yeah,
most
yeah,
chillest persons I've ever met.
super chill.
Super chill. Like I I, I would if he was a yoga instructor, I would take up yoga because I feel like he'd
Yeah.
give me an amazing experience out of it.
He would hurt you and make you cry, but you would be smiling about it.
No, I feel like he would be like he's the Bob Ross he was the Bob Ross of the kitchen. He was very good
I
at his
agree.
job, but he was always very kind to everybody, which is one of the like
He was.
amazing things that I really appreciate because I knew that if I messed up or if I didn't know anything, I could just go up to him and be like, "Could you help me with this?" And he'd be like, you could see it sometimes when he'd be like, "I'm busy as hell, but come on, let's go."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And you felt so happy about it because he was there to help you.
yeah.
And always love to have him around. He's just my sunshine to my darkness. It's just like, come here, Papa, help me. So it was always nice to have him
Pick me
around.
up. Oh, too
Pick me
much?
up.
Too far?
Yeah, yeah, never, never. Not with him.
he could probably pick me up. He was super buff.
Yeah,
I mean, he probably still is. Uh, but yeah, if you're watching this, when you come to town, let's hit the gym again for all time's sake.
I have the platinum or the black package for the gym now, so we should definitely all hit the gym.
Let's go. Or you know what? Even better. Let's all drive to Venice Beach and put on a show. Whoa,
We're we're
matching
we're doing what
speedos,
we need to do.
banana hammocks.
We got to bring the ponytail on and
Or dude, from living in Arizona, I've always just wondered, like, wouldn't those weights be like miserably hot for like half the time that you're out there?
I mean, possibly, but I mean, what's the hottest? what's the hottest it actually gets in Venice Beach
It's gotta
between?
it's gotta get hot because they probably get temperatures of like 105, and like here, I mean, they get what humidity is high because they're right next to the beach, but it's still gotta get like annoying. Even if it was plastic, it's still gonna burn the hell out of your hands.
No, I agree, 100%. But to me, 105 is nothing when you live in Arizona.
No, no, we're used to it. We're
So,
we're used to hell. Hell's gonna be a cakewalk. Oh,
but I'm sure they have some kind of cooling system for the weights or something. It only makes sense, right? For Venice
they
Beach and the weights, it should.
maybe they all wear gloves. That would probably make sense, right?
Fingertips still would be really hot, I guess. But anyways,
Yeah.
um,
I had a
we'll have
question.
to experience it. We have to invite our friend, and we need to go to Venice Beach.
We can
There's scientific reasons.
we can borrow him. Forcibly borrow him.
Yeah.
I have a question. There's this myth that I keep it keeps popping into my head, and I think it's true. It might not be. Is there really a better time of the month, like at the end of the month, to buy a car? And is there a month of the year that you would say would be the best time to buy a car?
I think it's really about the mindset. Um, really is the mindset. Obviously, the at least for me, I'm gonna do everything I can to get you the best deal as possible, at the lowest interest rate as possible. So unfortunately, the interest rate is something I don't have control, right?
Hmm.
Um, am I gonna be a little bit more flustered to sell you a car at the end of the month? 100%. I want to sell this car. I want to get it. I want to get to my bonus.
Hmm.
So obviously I'm a little bit more flustered about just trying to go through the process and get this done. Um, there are discounts available all throughout the year that are still there no matter what time, 4th of July, or what type of holiday may occur. The availability of the vehicle and us wanting to sell it is as high as ever. We're going to give you an amazing deal. So that's stigmatism on finding a better discount. I think, at least from my experience, is that you can be any day of the week. When you come see me, I'm going to try to get you the lowest possible deal possible. But that Christmas idea and the New Year idea, that I think is probably the only time where they will throw in like another $1,000. But I could probably do the exact same thing throughout the course of the year as well.
Okay, I just came up with another
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
We're circling back to car sales. I've heard. I'm not 100% sure because
Go ahead.
obviously I
Ask
can't.
away.
I've never confirmed this, but I've heard that Tesla dealerships, they're not a dealership, right? They don't have salesmen. They just have, you go there and you ask for a car, they give you the car. Why is that process worse than going to a car dealership?
Why is it worse? Because you can't negotiate.
Well,
You
yeah,
can't.
right.
You can't. You can't really bring the value of that vehicle any lower. I think that's probably the only win there. And obviously, the banks and the rates and what you can get approved for. I don't know what their structure is, but I think that's probably the only reason why I would say Tesla's probably a little bit harder if you're trying to get a good deal out of it.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
never, at one point Tesla was like the closest company, and now it seems that everybody has EVs that are equally as good. And then I rented a
Yeah.
Tesla at one point, and
Oh,
I get the part where everybody's like, you're always afraid that you're gonna run out of battery, and I mean I concur. I had to charge that bitch every single night, and it took 45 minutes to charge it. So it was just so
okay.
annoying. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've heard that Tesla doesn't have they don't sell cars like a dealership. They just it's like you go in there and you tell them I want this car, and cool, this is the car.
Hmm.
And what would be the benefits? But yeah, I get that. What was the other thing I was gonna ask you? Trying to remember. Give me a sec. That'll come back to me. Anyways, have you been watching the Winter Olympics?
I have. No, just kidding. I have.
Okay, it's okay.
So
I didn't watch it. I wanted to watch the opening
oh yeah,
ceremony, but I got
yeah.
busy. I think I went to get food and I forgot about it. Um,
Yeah.
so did you I mean, the Winter Olympics is like the stepson from the Olympics, so nobody really watches it. I mean, the funniest story I saw was Lindsey Vonn, where she tore her ACL like a month before, and then like 15 seconds into the sled. I think she was skiing, and she fell. She fell and like really messed up her leg, but I get it. I get it because I didn't know she was that old. She's like 41.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah, it's super impressive because I guarantee you she can do a lot of things that I can't even dream about. But yeah, I when I heard about the story that she tore her ACL like a month and a half before the Olympics, and then she's like, "But I'm still going because you don't really need an ACL," and my mindset is like,
Alrighty then.
no, my mindset was drop out, let somebody else take your spot, because
Yeah, of
I
course.
guarantee you, like the next person up is not gonna. It might not be as prestigious as she is, but they're still gonna be able to perform for a decent at a decent
That's a
point.
high potential.
Yeah,
Right.
way better than anybody else, right? So, but at the same time, I don't know how it works in the Olympics. Like, since she like got hurt,
One of the qualifiers, and then now she's injured.
yeah, like
There should be someone in the back, right?
I have no idea. I don't know how it works. I know that in boxing they bring extra people just in case somebody gets injured or somebody drops out. They can like alternate. I don't know if they do it for the Winter Olympics because who kind of cares? But I mean it's kind of cool because there's sports that you look at it and you're like, I could fucking do that shit. Like, what is it called? The where you select that thing and you try to get it in
Oh, I have no clue.
shuttle.
Is it a shuttle?
Let me look
I
it
don't
up.
remember. But I was going to talk about that because, again, I don't want to get political here on how to play that game. But I was reading an article about somebody was cheating. I'm not going to say the group of people that were, but I was reading in a little bit of an article about it, on my feed that shows up, uh, saying that there was some type of form of cheating while they were doing that.
I think that there's always cheating in every Olympic Games. It's just hard enough to catch them,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I mean they work for so many years to just get there, and I'm pretty sure that there's a level of cheating to all of it. There's no way that
Yeah.
you're gonna get there and just find out that the other nation isn't like juicing up with something that isn't detectable yet. Is it curling? Let me see. It is curling. You know that big ass rock that
You
they.
beat me to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Curling.
dude. I want to know. I want to try it because it looks so fucking easy. Um, and then I feel like I've been training my whole life. I know how to sweep.
Oh, 100% all day
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
Agreed.
Unless Mr. Miyagi taught you how to sweep, I don't think you're beating me.
Oh yeah.
Li-
Yeah.
Like I've never actually seen it. I always watch like like the little highlights, but I would 100% be one of those guys who eats shit trying to scrub that thing because you're still walking on ice.
Oh
So
yeah, 100%.
yeah, so 100% I would definitely eat shit. So yeah, I don't know. There's so many.
I think we'll be there together doing that exactly.
Yeah,
We'd both eat shit just trying to sleep. Or we know how to sleep, but just trying to keep our footing together would be one of the hardest things.
yeah. Do you know who's winning in the medal count right now?
No.
Who would you think if you had to guess?
Canada.
No, Canada's not even in the top five.
Uh,
I'm looking it up right now. I don't know this off the top of my head. It's
and are you talking about curling?
no. In general, who's winning
Okay.
medal count in the Winter Olympics?
The U.S.,
U.S. is third with 24 medals.
Japan,
Japan is ninth with 22 medals.
Germany.
Germany is seventh with 21. You're never gonna guess it, but it kind of makes sense. It's Norway.
Norway. Really?
Yeah, they have 15 golds, Eight
Wow.
silver, 10 bronze. I wonder if did you ever watch that guy in the biathlon who immediately after winning bronze confessed that he cheated on his girlfriend. It was
No.
a huge story. It was a huge story. Like
What?
like it didn't work. Like Kazakhstan is 18, huh? Where's Jamaica? Um, yeah, apparently he thought it was a good idea. Like immediately he goes, 3 months ago I cheated on my girlfriend. She was the love of my life, and I want to make amends. And I'm just like, I don't think putting your stuff out there is the best thing to getting her back.
Especially for the Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, I blew up, dude. Everybody knows about it, but yeah, and
That's
then
funny.
apparently, like, I guess he was expecting her to like reply, and then she goes, "I'm not gonna comment on that." But yeah, that was crazy. Biathlon, dude.
Insane.
I didn't know how bad I was at shooting until I tried to do that the clay shooting with the shotgun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, out of 50, I think I hit two.
Really?
Yeah, those
That's
motherfuckers will get
cool.
away from you.
Yeah, they will. They will.
Have you done it?
Yeah. No, I've never done it,
We
but
should
I
do it.
have
We got
done.
to do it.
Yeah, if I can get the chance to do it, I'll definitely do it. I've done all kinds of shooting with rifles, and obviously when I was in JROTC, we did a lot of shooting too.
Hmm.
So prone position, laying down, standing, all those positions are really awesome. But no, so when did you do clay shooting?
There's a name for it, but I don't remember the name for it. But I did it about a month and a half ago, and
Oh,
I've been wanting to go back because I really like it. Hurt my manhood where I'm just like, I need to get better at this shit. I'm just like, this shit's embarrassing. I've always thought that I was a decent shot, and then like a moving target, and all of a sudden I'm crippled.
yeah, no, it's not easy. I can only assume it. Uh, with the speed and the trajectory, and then you having to figure out how to shoot this thing, I can only imagine the complications for it. I
Yeah,
mean, we were shooting targets, that a moving object is really hard. I'm assuming you've never shot an animal
I'm not answering that question. There might have been a lizard or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go.
No, no, not a cute animal. I saw that they were doing dove hunting, and I wanted to do it, but apparently I had to like register, get a license, and do all that shit. And after seeing the way I hit a clay, it was probably for the best that I didn't go, because I was probably gonna look like somebody's kid was gonna have birds, a whole bunch of birds, and I was just gonna be like, "Here's $5. Give me one. I don't want. I don't want to look that bad."
Right, right. No, we all got to start somewhere. You know what? And Texas, we actually have, and I'm thinking about doing this, maybe with some friends and family, where it's a total of about $10,000 or so,
Oh, to kill the
to get a
pigs?
no, no, no. About $10,000 in total to get together with like 8 or 10 people to go do like a week's outing for men. And they take you out. They already have the licenses. You go out and enjoy, free carnes, food, beer, alcohol, and shooting. And you go out to Mexico, and within the seasonal things that are happening, you can go out and shoot yourself food. It's like a hunting party getaway for like 10 grand. So like, you
That's
get
not
together with
bad.
10 people. Yeah. They feed everybody there and you're taken care of, which is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Uh,
I'm free that week or weekend or whatever, however long it is. Um, but
It's about 10 days. So,
10 days, that's not bad. That's like
yeah,
what, a week and a
10
half,
days.
a little bit,
Yeah,
little,
we can have.
yeah. I've seen that in Texas they do the boar hunting, and I've seen
Yeah.
because apparently boars is like pigs that go out in the wilderness, and
Mhm.
they become aggressive and like horrible and ugly. Um, Apparently the state will give you like special licenses to just go out and kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm just
And,
like,
and,
you can't eat that
and
meat
they're
anymore.
dangerous.
You
No,
can,
you can't. Yeah.
yeah. It's
They're so
crazy.
dangerous. They're very dangerous to go out there. And you think it's just a pig and you shouldn't be afraid of them, but they can maul you. They will chew out your bones and everything that goes with it. They're not, those are some rough creatures to be around with.
Yeah, but if you
I've had
have
friends that are shoot them right across from each other within a couple feet away, just hammering it right dead center. So that's maybe a good target for you because they're coming to you. And so if you just keep your rifle there together, you should be able to hit it.
It's
I don't
coming
think you'll
right
be able to
for
reach
you.
that.
But yeah, I mean, hunting is one of the things I've always wanted to do. Not fishing. Fishing, I don't have the patience for that. I don't. I don't drink, so it's not gonna be like, it's an excuse to be out there alone and just get hammered. Nah, I would probably like fall asleep and be like, yeah, wake me up when something happens, or you know what,
Yeah.
I'll go in the car. But no, I'd be down for like buck hunting or whatever's in season. Um, I mean, the only time I was afraid of actually killing a deer was when I was driving through Texas, and I was just like, you see the carcasses all over the highway, and you're just
Yeah.
like, okay, it happens here, and you're just like so
Well, I
alert,
get that as
like
well.
you're just like, no, no, no. But at the same time, like reality, you're going 80. If he gets in front of you, you're gonna hit him.
Hmm.
But
Oh yeah.
either way, you're still like, it could happen here. And then I think I was driving back from Texas. It was like 2 a.m. and it was like through this ditch where you can't. There's no light, right? And I could just see their eyes glowing in the side of the highway as I was passing through, and I was just like, oh shit. And they're just eating the grass right next to me. I'm just like, please,
I
no,
hope
no.
so. They're not eating dead carcasses.
I mean, it's deer don't eat deer, do they?
I don't know.
That would be scary. Fucking like
Bambi.
yeah, Bambi's eating his
Bambi's
mom.
gone carnivore.
Bambi ate his mom
um,
right afterwards.
that that's probably something you could probably edit that out. But no, at the end of the day, it's one of those things that now, yeah, you're driving down through Texas, you're driving down through Flagstaff, and you got to be careful with that because yeah, they will come. And you know what? In Texas, I don't know if it was El Paso or something like that. But if you get into a deer or an elk, um, after the accident, they can take it with you, and then you can have it to a chop shop and like for $100 you can pack all that meat and bring it back to your home, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. I've actually there's like classes where they teach you how to butcher, and
yeah.
I think it's like it's not expensive. I think it's like $250, and they'll teach you
Mhm.
like if you have a carcass of like elk, deer, or whatever, they'll teach you like or a cow. They'll teach you like this is how you cut this is how you do this is how you like package it up, and then I think at the end of the day you walk out with like a few pounds of like meat that they have laying around. That's a good fucking deal.
Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with that at all. 100%. And
Hmm.
the experience that they teach you with that, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but
If I hit a deer, I sure hope so. I can take some deer meat. I would like to take some deer meat at home for sure.
I've never had deer.
No, neither have I.
I I had a friend who did elk hunting, but with a bow,
Hmm.
and he he loved it, but he just told me it was like super expensive. And as soon as he told me it was super expensive, I checked out. I was just like, okay, not for me. But I remember he promised
Yeah,
me he promised he was gonna bring me elk meat one day, and he just never did. And I was just like, it's probably super expensive. I'm not gonna bug him.
yeah. No, so yeah, the license is expensive, especially for bows, or even rifles. But the elk license, to be able to go get them, they're definitely expensive. And doing that with the bow is not easy, especially if you are miles and miles in the wilderness, and then you have to drag back one of those creatures. It's no joke. I was again being in the business where I'm at. I've talked to all walks of people and people that live in Colorado do this. Actually, I have a friend that he owns a business, teaching and going taking you to locations to fight, to get help. He says, he had a client that got lost in the way and he wasn't able to find them, but he was able to track an elk and get it, and with no connection to service or anything like that, he had to figure out how to carry this elk back down. And not only that, but the customer got lost as well. So that was like a 6 to 8 hour expedition trying to find this client and his elk that the guy was just rigorously trying to bring back because he had won his trophy. And the coach that was with him, he's like, I can't believe I lost track of this guy, but I couldn't find him for 6 to 8 hours with no connection to services. It's like, can you imagine that kind of experience where you're by yourself, you finally get yourself an elk, and now you're like, how do I take this back to the truck? How
Elks
do
are
I drag this
huge.
thing?
They're like what?
Oh
Like
yeah,
they're like 8 feet tall and like I want to guess over 1,000 pounds maybe. Like how big are elk?
take a look.
Anyways, did you know gold medals are pretty much gold plated medals? I was looking into it.
Really?
Yeah. Those they're with so adult elks are about 600 to 1,100 pounds, and they stand about 4 to 5 feet tall.
No,
That's gotta be wrong.
about 1,200 pounds.
Maybe a baby elk. That's
No, I
crazy.
had no idea that they're made out of gold. You said gold, please?
They're gold plated, so they're mainly silver and some bronze inside, but they're
Hmm.
not. They're not like solid gold medals.
Really?
Yeah, they're almost made in China because like fuck, dude. If I train my whole life and I actually manage to win gold, and then I find out that this thing isn't worth its weight in gold, I'd probably be so annoyed. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's different countries give you different incentives. Like I know that certain countries give you like I remember it was like one of these Asian countries. They offer like a house or restaurant and like $250,000 worth of like incentives if they won gold, just because they never win gold in anything. So it's like one of those cool things. But here, you probably just get like bragging rights and a metal that's gonna oxidize in a few years.
Oh, 100%.
I
100%.
still want
I mean,
one.
here's a consideration though. With all the football trophies that you have, I think the the experience of it is more. You would appreciate more of the experience and obviously the winning, but the trophy in itself or the medal, I don't think it would mean that much as the experience of being able to remember back to it. I think
Yeah,
that's maybe the reason why
yeah.
they perceive that.
You know what I want to do that I could probably actually do? I'd want to do the torch, the running of the torch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd actually love to do that because I think you only have to run like 2 miles. You get the torch, you have to buy it, but you can get it sponsored. Like you can get people to pay for, like you can fund it, and then you get to keep the torch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd actually want to do that because I think that I think the torch would be a cooler memory to have from the Olympics than a gold medal that's not even gold, or more
Yeah,
realistically, a bronze medal. Is a bronze medal worth more now?
because yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I think that would be awesome because yeah, there's multiple people running with the torch as it gets to the Olympic Open. Which, by the
Yeah.
way, did you go to the Waste Management of Phoenix Open at all,
No, I don't.
or is golfing not your thing?
I don't know how to golf. I don't know the rules. I've done top golf and I can hit the ball sometimes where I want it to go, but I don't go. And plus, it's I wouldn't know what I'm watching.
True, true.
I wouldn't know. Like unless all of my friends are going and they invite me, I might go. But if it's just like me going, I'm gonna be as lost as anybody. I'm gonna be way lost. And then I know it's a party place now. It's more for partying than it is for like
Practically,
the event. But I mean, it looks like people love it. People have fun there. But no, I've never gone. I went. We went one year when I was in elementary school. We took a trip there, and they let us hit a few balls, and I remember I was so fucking cocky because I was just like it was like, oh, we were on top of a hill. They gave us a whole bunch of balls, and they're like, just hit the ball. Here's your club. And there was cars like, I want to say like 200 meters away, and I asked the guy, I'm like, what if we hit the cars? And he goes, I dare you. And me, I'm like, bitch, watch this. Fuck no, dude. I probably didn't get that ball like 10 feet away from me. But
Yeah,
yeah, it was so intimidating, and it was just like this guy knows. This guy knew we weren't gonna do shit. But somebody in our group actually they gave us like those ping hats, like that brand,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they had them all on the table, and they're like, hey, everybody grab a hat. We all grabbed one, and they're like, oh, check the little sticker. There's gonna be a number, and if you got a number, you got a special prize. And somebody from our school actually got like a set of golf clubs.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, uh, me unrealistically chucking and being pissed off about a sport that I have no interest in playing or understanding how to play. But yeah, I have a few friends that actually like go to the golf course, and you know, it's not one of the things I want to pick up right now. It seems fun if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested right now into like, I've been thinking about going into like jujitsu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that? What is attracting you to jiu-jitsu?
It seems like I can get more out of it, like, learn how to like the grappling and all that stuff. It seems like a workout, and it's something that I have no idea how to do. But then it's also super expensive. I think it's like $45 a session, right?
Yeah. I don't know what the cost is really. I'd have to take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but no, it can get very expensive just depending on what you do, and then again, setting that time to do it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also have a few friends that have done it and they love it. So it might be one of those things, hopefully later I can afford it a little bit better, and it'll be something that I can do, because it sounds like, it's a workout, it's fun. It helps you take out a little bit of stress. And the only thing I don't want is the cauliflower ear, because even though people that have it take it as a sign of pride, I would
Right.
feel like it seems like you got that fucking fungus from The Last of Us growing in your ear.
Yeah. No. You played Last of Us at all, or you watched the show?
Both, but only the first season.
Like,
The second season, as soon as Joel died, I tuned out. I think I watched the episode right after it, and then I just like, I don't care.
yeah, I watched the first season, yeah, and then as soon as Joel passed away, I kind of gave up on it. And same thing with the game. I played the whole first game first. That's where my introduction was, and then when the show came out, and here's the thing, it was just recent too. When the show finally released, I had been like a week or two prior to me finally beating the game, so I've never played this game before. So definitely was kind of a letdown, kind of going into Joel dying. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, and then
Definitely those plants were crazy.
oh yeah, yeah. I like the HBO show because they added a few little things, like, I don't know if you watched the show, but the first episode they had that guy in the talk show host explaining why fungus would be super dangerous if it adapted
Oh yeah.
with global
Hmm.
warming. That was scary.
Yeah.
And then they had that
Yeah.
that I don't remember her title, but she was like a disease control lady, and she finds it.
Yeah.
And the
Yep.
terrifying thing when they ask her like, "What should we do?" He goes, bomb everybody in the city, with me
Yeah.
included." Like,
Yeah.
this is so
Yeah.
bad, and you're just like, damn, she knew how bad it was, but
Yeah.
it was so
No, 100%.
creepy. But yeah, you they give you like a little bit of clips into like a few things that weren't in the game that were interesting, and you're just like, this, you could keep this going. And I think they stopped after like three episodes where they added a little bit of things. But it was interesting. I thought it was fun. The first season was really good. Second season, when Joel, I thought they learned their lesson from the video game, and they were gonna put, like, kill Joe off like one or two episodes before the end.
Right.
But no. Have you seen any interesting movies as of late?
Uh, interesting. No, not really.
You don't watch movies anymore? TV shows?
I no. Honestly, I think with my time frame and what I do most of the time, I kind of watch anime. If anything, that's typically what I'm doing now.
What anime?
Um, why do we have to get into this topic? I somehow have my laptop here. Who would have known that you would possibly ask me this question? No, honestly, there's a lot of great anime. Jujutsu Kaisen just came out. They just released again with their season 5 force. Uh, just released again. Or
Didn't the
just came
movie come
back.
out?
It's awesome. The movie did come out and everything. Um,
Is the movie
uh,
canon?
I don't. No, it's not canon.
It's not canon? Because it threw me off because I'm huge into One Piece, and every One Piece movie is not canon. And then Demon Slayer came out with, like, they do the season, and then it leads to a movie, and the movie is canon to the season. So it throws me off sometimes. I'm like, okay, that worked out. Is everybody else gonna do it this way? And I don't know if My Hero Academia did the same thing.
Remember, I have to go back and take a look.
I never watched any of those, so I'm just like wondering. But
Really?
yeah, I tried to get into Demon Slayer, but I just got so I've been so busy with all my other projects that it's
Yeah.
hard. And like the only one I'm super invested in is One Piece. So it's like one of those things that you can give it time without giving it time and still enjoy it, as opposed to,
Mhm.
like, watching, like if I were gonna watch Jujutsu Kaisen right now, I'd want to give it my undivided attention to understand the lore, understand where they're going with the story. And One Piece, like, the manga came out. The manga's still going out, so I'm up to date with the manga, so I know what's going on. And then, so if I watch the anime, I kind of know what they're covering in that anime. So like if I watch a few parts and I miss like a minute, I don't feel like I lost anything. I just remember the
Right,
story.
right,
And some of the jokes hit funnier in the anime, or some of the storytelling hits better. But it's one of those animes that I can just be like, oh, I don't need to watch it.
right. No, you're definitely much more of a nerd or an anime advocate than I am for sure. No, I just kind of stick to the shows myself more than anything else. I know Jujutsu Kaisen. I think they actually finished their manga. I think they're just finally releasing the shows more than anything else. Um, and believe it or not, I'm sure you might not be very happy for me to tell you this, but I have just recently started watching One Piece for the first time. And
Why would it be
so
mad about that, dude? If anything, I'm jealous.
it's it's one of those things where I'm just like I haven't it's there's so many fillers going on, trying to keep up with it and not get bored, and then trying to appreciate it as well. It's just insane. Especially for like the first 200, 300 episodes, and you're just like, okay, what are we gonna do here? And now finally, I'm watching the movie right now,
Which one?
where they're trying to find um, the treasure island or something like that.
Treasure.
And then they get sucked up by this this fish that has 3 islands in her stomach. And this little girl, I guess she comes out of the fish, and she finally gets caught, and um, she knows the way back to the fish. And let me click on it here.
I'm trying to remember what movie that is.
Heart of Gold. Heart of Gold.
Oh, that movie sucked. You can skip it.
See, but I gotta watch it. I want to watch it.
It's not canon anyways. You can watch
No, it's
here.
not.
I'll give you a few movies you can watch, and these movies you obviously it's gonna spoil a little bit because you see how much they've grown throughout the movies. But the movies they stand alone. They're very good. You can watch One Piece Z. That one's really good. You can watch One Piece Gold. That one's okay. Strong World kind of sucks. Um, Let me see. One Piece Red was really good. One Piece Stampede was really, really good. Um, and if anything, like these movies reward active watchers. So people that have followed the anime or the manga, they see a lot of characters that they haven't seen in years. So they just
Right.
flash back or they show them. Sometimes they're just cameos where they're walking around and you see them in the background and you're just super happy to see them again. But it's
Yeah.
rewarding. But yeah, dude, anime is like one of the best things to watch, and it's cool because you have to suspend your disbelief when you're watching anime, because there's characters that are like fucking 14 feet tall, and there's some
Yeah.
that are like only 4 feet tall, and for whatever reason, the 4 foot guy is way stronger than the 14-foot guy. It makes no sense. And there's giants, and then there's non-giants, and then there's people
Yeah.
that are not giants but they're way taller than anybody else. It just doesn't make any sense. But you're watching it like, for One Piece, you have the swordsman that fights with the sword in his mouth.
Yeah. And just considering how much it would take to just hold that thing and then still think about wiping away your enemies that are humongous or made out of stone or trying to block. So I just came out from watching the Doflamingo area.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, when he fights
so,
Pika.
that's the road. Yeah, exactly. So finding Pika and all these guys. So you're just like, how does my guy just slash right through all that? And it's just insane. So definitely like mad respect for Zoro. I definitely think do you have any tattoos?
No,
Would you not do a tattoo like Zoro slashing away or something like that?
no,
What?
no, no. I have commitment issues. I'm not getting a tattoo of any anime. What if they pull a Game of Thrones where at the end, it sucks? Did you hear about how many people called their daughter Khaleesi and Daenerys?
No, really.
Yeah. So you know how it was
That's
super
intense.
popular for like what, 9 years, and at the beginning, Khaleesi or Daenerys Targaryen, she was like this heroine, breaker of chains, freer of slaves, and at the end she ends up being like the bad person. I don't know if you've seen Game of Thrones or if I'm just spoiling it for you.
You're not spoiling it to me because I just haven't seen it yet. I watched the first episode and I just did not get into it.
Oh, the first episode hooked me. Fucking ice
Yeah,
zombies.
no, I couldn't even finish it. I fell asleep. I literally fell asleep. It was the first part where they're riding through the carriage, and that's where I just like, okay, I'm gonna go take a nap now, and I just fell asleep.
It's really good.
Never went back.
It's really good, and then it just jumps like off the cliff because at one point, there's seasons where they're the whole season it's one person trying to get to one city, and they express that it's a long journey, a lot of things happen, and then like towards the end in the same episode, one person can be in one spot and then show up at another spot, and yeah, I've been running since blah blah blah, and it doesn't make sense, and it was obvious that they were just trying to end the show already, and at one point, Daenerys was supposed to, she turns into her dad, who her dad was like the Mad King, so she ends up being the villain in a way. So a lot of
Is that
people
you
were,
talking about the dragon lady?
yeah. So a lot of people, like, people called their kids based on her. She was really pretty. She was very
Yeah.
strong. People thought she was going to be the queen at the end. People believed in the story. And like the books weren't out. They're still not out. So like there's really no reason, there's no way for people to actually know that she was going to end up being a villain.
What's gonna be forthcoming?
Yeah. So like, what if they could always pull that, they could always pull that, Zoro doesn't become the world's strongest swordsman and he becomes like, this, he decides he gives up on that dream and he does, anything could happen. We don't know what's going to happen. So yeah,
Exactly.
I've seen badass tattoos. I just don't like the idea of having a tattoo because I change my mind really fast on things. Like, I look back at pictures of me in high school and I'm just like, damn, I was an idiot. And I don't want to have a constant reminder on my skin of like, this is why you're stupid. And I
No,
get enough
I agree.
examples.
I respect it.
Yeah. But yeah,
No, I
some
respect it.
tattoos look badass on some people. I just don't have, I just don't have it in me.
Not considering putting a tattoo on your face. That's just the
The
sad
Mike
part
Tyson
thing
tattoo
about
looks badass, but I don't think I look intimidating with it. If anything, I look more hangover than Mike Tyson.
No, honestly, it's just one of those things where I'm just like some of these animations and the graphics, they you know how they say, oh, they paid way too much for these graphics. It's just so aggressively cool looking. I'm like, man, I should consider getting myself one of these tattoos. How cool would that be? But no, I can totally understand with living with that lifestyle where you're like, I don't want to go back and consider the stupid mistake that I did by doing this tattoo.
Have you ever seen that show
No,
Ink Masters or whatever it's called?
I remember watching clips of it, and you know where I watch them all because I'm old on Facebook. So generate, and I'm like, oh look, they're Ink Masters, or they're doing Blake. What is it? What they're doing Forged in Fire.
Oh, dude, I
Uh,
actually like that. Yeah, I'll go into
I like,
like a little like phase where for a month I'm watching that shit. But Ink Master is interesting because these are like all like amazing tattoo artists, and they go in competition, right? And then they'll have people that get like free tattoos there, and it scared the shit out of me because you see the tattoo and you're like, oh shit, that actually turned out pretty badass. And then you go in front of the judges and they're ripping it apart. They're like, if I had this tattoo, I'd be pissed off, man. That's there forever. It's
yeah,
crooked, it's ugly, it looks sloppy, and you're just like, fuck, I have bad taste in tattoos. And like, they're like, the lines are all over the place, the shading is
yeah,
horrible, it doesn't make sense. And you're just like, damn, it's a good thing the guy who got the tattoo isn't there.
yeah. I agree, and that's the last thing you want is to go through something like that. And you're like, oh yeah, go ahead and tattoo me. It's for free, and that tattoo is just horrible, which is insane. I've seen tattoos of what Salma Hayek tattoos, and you're just like they
Is it
come out and post it, and you're like, it's a dude. Like, what are we doing here?
is it the
Horrible.
Dust Till Dawn Selma Hayek?
No, not that one. Um,
That's the only one I can think of
yeah.
tattooing.
See, that's a good tattoo. But no, there's one tattoo where again Facebook Reels will pop up or some ideas of like horrible tattoos, and I saw one that had Selma Hayek, and it looked like a complete guy, and it was just a horrible, disastrous figurine of a character. Um, so again, I was just one of those where you're just like, man, some people definitely should have never gotten that tattoo at all.
I agree. But I mean, there's people that just love them, man. I'm looking for an image right now.
So
Oh God! Oh God! This is
you should have
horrible.
never done it.
No, somebody has like a very chubby Salma Hayek from Dusk Till Dawn. Oh my God! Did you know that there's like prequels to Dusk Till Dawn?
No.
Yeah, my brother watched. So he went down like a rabbit hole and he watched like all of them. He goes, "Oh yeah, did you know that Selma Hayek was actually like? There's a story behind her how she became like Santanica, or whatever." It's like no, and he told me, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like a love story." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I don't want to watch it."
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, I
apparently,
had no idea.
yeah. Oh, some of these tattoos are badass, but yeah, some of these are like, oh my God, dude, that's scary. That's like super scary.
Nothing is generating on my side. It seems to be all amazing photos of her.
I
Maybe
put
because I have my face search on.
I put bad Salma Hayek tattoo.
I put horrible.
Oh, you put horrible?
Yeah.
No, some of these are badass. Like some of these are like really cool. And then you watch him go on Ink Master and be like, he doesn't look anything like her. This looks just like blah blah blah, man. If this was mine, I'd be pissed. I'd cover up. I'd get it removed immediately.
Hmm.
But yeah, some of these are cool. Some of these I can see how they look a little funny. But yeah, no, I'm not a tattoo person. I don't think I could.
You don't think you'll ever tattoo yourself? What
No,
about a piercing or anything like that? You'd ever consider a
I
piercing?
never got my ears pierced either.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have any piercings at all. So, but I think even now that we're in our mid 30s, it'd be what the heck, you know? Your
Eh,
parents only going to get mad once.
I
Let
mean,
it be for
I don't need another
permanent.
midlife crisis.
It's a midlife crisis, exactly. Make it spontaneous.
No, if I wanted a midlife crisis, I'd buy a car that I shouldn't buy. That would be a better midlife crisis because at least I can drive the car and feel better about myself.
Yeah. it's everybody's midlife crisis. Everybody that comes into the dealership and asking, I've had a lady that her husband passed away, and she's like, "My husband passed away. He gave me all this money. He told me to go buy me a nice car," and she was crying through the entire process.
Yeah.
And you get those guys that come in with those midlife crises, going in and saying, "Hey, I'm going to buy myself something that I shouldn't be buying."
Be like, cool. Let me help you.
Let me help you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me help you. I know exactly what car you want. You know what a Hellcat is?
Yeah, exactly. Let me get that to you.
Have you guys ever sold a Ford GT at your dealership? Since it's a Ford dealership,
We actually have a Ford GT.
is it for sale?
Uh,
I can't afford it.
uh,
I'll tell you right now. I'll probably never be able to afford it. Um, but yeah, did you test drive it? Can you test drive it?
no, we can't test drive it, and for that same reason, it's cost the dealership at least $40,000 to $50,000 throughout its course of being at the dealership, because every vehicle that we have there, everything from the 1910 Ford FT Model A and the Model T, they're all drivable, by the way. So the Ford GT that's sitting in the showroom right now has been sitting in the showroom for almost 2-3 years. So the battery ended up dying. So they ended up having to take it out and then taking it out to a Ford Performance store to get it serviced, to get a battery put on it, just a battery. So they had to walking outside the showroom and then drag it onto a ramp and then drive it off. And that battery alone was like 30, 40 grand
Damn.
just to put a battery in it. Yeah.
Damn.
So
What color is it?
they're
I really want to know.
silver, or
Silver.
no, magnetic metallic.
Does it have the
Just
racing stripes?
great. Yeah.
What color?
Black racing stripes.
Oh.
Black.
Woof.
Carbon fiber, everything. Just everywhere. Carbon
Damn.
fiber everywhere. Wheels. Yeah. Void
Damn.
insert. The funny thing about the Ford GT? Not a lot of people know about it, but for being an extremely expensive vehicle, they made it so it's super light, and for whatever height you may be, the seats are actually like welded or actually into the box frame, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the only way to adjust the pedals for someone like you and I or anybody is by pulling it by a pulley string. So that pulley string on the side of your leg pulls the string and the paddle board of the gas pedal and the brake pedal back and forth depending on your force length that you like to have it on.
Damn.
That is the most craziest, inexpensive idea that Ford came up with as far as adjusting those pedals. Is that let's not use electronics, let's just control it by the pulley string. And that pulley string is what adjusts the board on your gas pedal brake pedal.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a lot of people know about it. At least I think not a lot of people know about it.
I didn't know
Obviously,
about
you
it.
know that it's a it's a 3.5 motor in it, right?
Let's pretend I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a V6 motor. It's a V6 motor, and it's an over $1 million car.
Damn. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean that's cool. What's one of the things I've always said to myself, like I want to, if I'm ever super rich and I want to go to a dealership, I want to be like, yeah, let me test drive this car, and then be like, after a test drive, be like, yeah, I'll buy it, but not this car. I already drove it. I want a brand spanking new one with 0 miles. I don't care that I put 12 miles on this one. I want a new one, because I'm like, to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
that one's now used. I don't care if, I drove it. To me, it's used. Has that ever happened?
Yes. Yes, it has happened. It has happened, and it's hard to even go about this route because I have to then talk to Ford Motor. We have to talk to, my general manager. My general manager has to talk to somebody else above him to figure out how we can get a car that has 0 miles. Because
It's
the car
impossible.
goes through, yeah, it's impossible because it goes through a surveying belt that gets the motor that then has to be rotated for the tires and have to be driven up to the ramp to get into the trailer to drive out here. Then it has to have a pre-delivery inspection. With the pre-delivery inspection, the mechanic. Here's the thing: is some cars do come from the manufacturer without any oil in it.
Mm.
any transmission oil, so cars like that will come in. So our mechanic has to do that pre-delivery inspection to make sure that it's safe to drive and write off. So the last thing you want to do is buy a vehicle with 0 miles because you're susceptible to whatever may have
Happen.
come of wrong from the manufacturer. Yeah, from the manufacturer.
That's cool.
So
I never
yeah,
thought about it
yeah,
that way. I mean, it makes sense that you buy toys, you don't have batteries. So it makes sense.
exactly.
You get a brand new car shipped from the manufacturer. It's not gonna have oil. Why the hell would they put oil in it?
Yeah,
Does it have
yeah,
gas?
yeah, yeah. We fill it up at gas.
Oh, okay,
The
okay.
manu- yeah, the manufacturer puts like like I think maybe a gallon or two of gas just to make it into the ramp and then out, bring it down to the ramp
Oh, I thought they
from
pushed
hospital.
it. They don't push them.
No, they drive them into the ramps and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. No, there's no pushing. There's no pushing.
oh, okay. I mean, the more you know. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, right before we wrap up, is there anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to tell? Anything you want to say?
Uh, Nothing. I do appreciate you having me here on your podcast, Edgar. It's one of those cool things to see my friends doing something awesome. And talking to you, I mean, even behind the scenes, it's one of the cool things to just get to see you again. I think you're one of the highly friends that I still have around high school, even some still have now that mean a lot to me. And again, you're the only friends that me and another person that I know of, that you know of as well, that we worked out of the gym and we were always having a blast doing our thing. And I think for anything out there, you were a lot of my motivation to see somebody play soccer. And I always wanted to be, I always wanted to play soccer, but I just couldn't fathom the ability of running just as much as you do, as much as you did, and comparing to what I did for high school. I think, is there anything in high school that you wanted to do differently? I think if you had to go back,
I wanted to play football. Like,
you wanted to play football.
yeah, but probably in hindsight, it was a good thing I didn't do it. I graduated weighing 118 pounds. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I was probably weighing like what, like 110 pounds when I would have tried out. It wasn't gonna end well for me because I'm still like 5'4", 5'5", 110 pounds. It wasn't gonna end well. Like those guys would have killed me. Probably, I mean,
yeah,
right now I have knee pain out of so many years of running. But I mean, I still like running every once in a while. I still like playing soccer every once in a while. But no, no. If anything, I probably would have tried to be more social. I was very like close minded with just staying within my circle. But I mean, high school was high school. It was fun while it lasted. It felt like forever when you were in there, but now looking back, like it seems like it flies by for everybody else.
yeah, yeah. It does. It does. And definitely, like I said, I always felt that you were more the popular kid than anything out there. I think you got along with a lot of girls. So if your wife or girlfriend is watching this, you got yourself a lucky guy. And at the end of the day, it's one of those cool things to have someone like you around and just see you succeed and be successful. That's awesome to see.
Thank
That's for
you,
sure.
thank you, thank you. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
you're
yeah.
amazingly successful too, man. You were always a go getter. Every time I saw you, you were up to something else. You were doing something different, and it always seemed that you were succeeding at everything you were doing. So that was always amazing. And let's hang out, dude. Let's go. Let's do the clay shooting. Let's do. I don't think we live that far away from each other. We're not going to disclose that right now, but still,
Right.
yeah, we'll get in touch, and we'll schedule something, and then we next time we come by, we can probably have a funnier story about something stupid we did together. Because I guarantee you, we're still idiots. That
No,
we
100%.
we don't grow out of that shit. But we just we have more fu money now, and a few more commitments that we have to make sure that we abide by.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So I appreciate you having me in here, guys, and I appreciate you for having me here, and I appreciate you guys for watching and continue watching and see this YouTube video or YouTube channel grow. And of course, shout out to Bell Forward for having me around. Without them, I wouldn't be here. And of course, hopefully, again, I see you in podcast 777 or 77, and we'll
77.
go from
I
there.
wrote it down. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit you up for podcast 77. So it might be in a few years, depending on how
There you
if I
go.
can keep up with the weekly schedule.
There you go. There you go. Well, sounds good. I appreciate you so much.
Hey, it was nice seeing you again. Have a good night.
Likewise, brother. At night. Take care.
Bye.